Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight so you don't have to. We got a little bit of extra, don't we? So if you're following Behavior's Twitter, they've put out 6 add-ons that are coming up from the upcoming patch, which has continued to looking better and better. Thank you, MMR and top 5% balancing. This is quite an exciting time for the game, dude. This is quite an exciting time for Dead by Daylight. The issues are not gone yet. They have not nerfed survivors yet. So, like, the core of the game is still bad. The game is still going to be woefully unbalanced after this drops, and it's still going to feel like the same old shitty game. But I think the important thing to remember is that the seeds are being planted to go in a better direction. Top 5% balancing and MMR are beginning to have an effect on the type of add-on changes and the perk changes that you're seeing in the game. Even if it's for survivors, I think that is important to note as we move on. Okay, let's go in and have a look at some of these add-on changes right now, because these add-on changes that we are seeing here, these first 6 that we are revealed, they have top 5% balancing written all over them. And as you can see, one character in particular is looking scarier and scarier as more add-ons get revealed. And we'll just go ahead and start with them. That would be Pig. Pig is beginning to look better and better. I'm not saying Pig is going to be top tier broken OP, but Pig might have a shot at Keystone if you read some of these add-ons. This is her near Iridescent. I'm hoping we're getting rid of that shitty Amanda's Letter. Oh, I mean, both of her Iridescents aren't great. This is actually probably replacing rule set number 2 based on what it's supposed to do for videotape. Survivors begin the trial with reverse bear traps installed. And that is incredible, because like right away you have all of that pressure that she can give you throughout a match. Bam, right where it needs to be. Right where it needs to be. At the time of the match where the game is the most unbalanced, she now has an add-on that slams all of her pressure instantly to the early game where it needs to be. She doesn't have to get it down to earn her traps. She slaps on this Iridescent. Everybody in the trial starts with reverse bear traps. And that's all it says. So we can assume that one of these equals one gen popping will mean all the bear traps proc, so they kind of have to go around and start searching these boxes. And, right where it needs to be. It's just incredible. Just incredible. This add-on is looking very, very scary, and I think this is what she might be tiered with going forward. Like, if all of her other add-ons continue to be bad and she continues to suck garbage coming into the game, like, come December, she still sucks garbage without this, I'm probably going to tier her with this. This looks like probably the way you're going to have to play her moving forward. It just moves all that pressure. You don't have to get downs based on 115. Top 5% balancing right here. That's what this is. Very good add-on. Very good add-on. This add-on right here is going to massively transform the character. And I think that is extremely important as you move forward, because you can start to see what it's going to take to make some of these bottom tiers viable. Because you're looking at some of those Trapper buffs. I mean, that one where he starts with all 10, that could be good. But, like, notice that some of the strongest add-ons, they're starting to rectify some of these early game problems. And this add-on right here in particular nullifies the, oh shit, I have to get downs to make my bear traps work. And, oh, my bear traps might be inconsistent when they're even in play. So yeah, because they're inconsistent when you're in play, but if you use this, ladies and gentlemen, you probably have enough early game slowdown to forego Corrupt Intervention, which means you can throw on Lethal Pursuer. And when you throw on Lethal Pursuer, you can possibly go ahead and go to the guy who's like closest to you and close to a box, so you can potentially save a box from being searched. Like there's a lot of early game potential here, and this in particular is going to massively take the character in a new direction. I really like what I'm reading here. Next, Vanity Mirror on Myers. Even within 2 reveals survivor's range 16 meters when stalking. If this might be looking familiar to you, so because like they even buffed this, yes they did. This add-on has a drawback that makes it not viable, and that's the movement speed decrease. They are getting rid of the movement speed decrease. So now you can't go past Evil Within 2, but now you have 16 meters of aura reveal consistently the entire time. This add-on right here is going to be pretty scary. I think this might make an Evil Within 2 setup viable. You can throw on, like, Nurse's Calling or something. Maybe Nurse's Call. I'm trying to think what else you can do with Evil Within 2. but like this right here is going to massively transform the way Myers is played when he's running it. This is going to be very effective, and I think this boost right here will make Evil Within 3 not very necessary. So this, again, is going to take Myers in a new direction, where all you gotta do is kind of get out of Tier 1, and then you can start playing the character in a new way. These add-ons are impressive. These are impressive, and these are transforming the way 2 bottom-tier characters are going to be played and possibly tiered from here on out. Because it's like, why play them without this? Now, we'll have to test it. I don't know if Vanity is going to be as good as a videotape, or even if these add-ons are going to be all hyped up, but like, all they're hyped up to be. But what I'm reading on paper is very impressive, and you can see the effort. You can see that they're realizing these characters are getting fucked in MMR. Next, Interlocking Razor. Failing a Jigsaw box skill check while injured will inflict a deep wound. That's not that all impressive, but it's a common, so... And for a common... For a mistake and getting a deep wound inflicted upon you, that's not... For a common, you can't really ask for something much more than that. That's not... it's bad, don't get me wrong, but it's a common, so whatever, it's a throwaway. And this throwaway add-on right here is stronger than, like, every other throwaway add-on she has right now, so good. And then the next 3... Jigsaw Sketch increases available reverse bear traps by 1. When a survivor with a reverse bear trap is working on a gen, the gen's aura is revealed to you. So you combine Jigsaw Sketch with videotape, and what the hell does that look like? What the hell does that early game look like? If you have 2 survivors that are maybe trying to get their bear traps off, and then 2 more trying to do the early game gen rush, you can really, really pick out a survivor and just kind of... see if you can get a down on a reverse bear trap survivor. That's a pretty big situation right there, bruh. So that combination right away, videotape and Jigsaw Sketch, is a very interesting combination that these add-ons could really bounce off of each other, especially if, like, I'm assuming there's an unwritten drawback to the videotape that it means you start the match with no traps, because that would make sense that all of the bear traps are already distributed. If you can get one more ace in the hole up your sleeve from the sketch, that again, the character could be massively transformed from the ground up. Very, very interesting. Next, Torn Bookmark, Nurse. They're adding a blink charge and increasing blink recharge time to 50%. Okay, so it has a drawback, but you get a blink charge. Okay. I think the Nurse players aren't really going to care, especially if those Blink recharge add-ons are still in the game. You can run this with those recharge add-ons, and it'll feel like about the same. This is good for her. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, why are they buffing Nurse, the easily best killer in the game now that Spirit's getting nerfed? Why are they buffing Nurse? Oh, simple. Because Nurse can't compete with 4-man Swift. This is top 5% balancing at its finest. This is easily MMR-based top 5% balancing. Why are they buffing the Nurse? Because Nurse doesn't compete against good Swift at high MMR. It's like this is all top 5% stuff. Like, do we see this yet? And this is just the beginning. Once they start putting what they're trying to do, I'll go over this when we talk about the patch. They're kind of making killers a bit stronger, as well as trying to shift the survivor metagame to prepare for the nerfs, which I still think are coming. Everything about what we're seeing so far is implying that nerfs are coming. But nerfs getting buffed, yeah, I definitely see why. Workshop Grease increases the ambush attack charge speed by 50%, decrease ambush attack miss cooldown by 25%. So you're charging... This seems to be a buffed videotape, because like the speed at which the ambush is being charged up is increasing by 50%, and then you're getting an additional benefit of attack miss cooldown by 25%. It just seems like a buffed version. They took the videotape, which is one of our better add-ons already, and buffed it. So, and look at those values. 50%, 25%. Those are big values. Like, very good. These 3 add-on buffs are impressive. 6. These 6 add-ons are impressive. Even the Interlocking Razor, which is a throwaway and not good, but like this throwaway is better than every other throwaway in the game right now. Like every throwaway on Wraith with Hemorrhage and all that fucking useless shit. This is still bad, don't get me wrong, but like if I have to run this for a game, I'm like not gonna complain or be upset about it, whereas this Hemorrhage, it's like, I'm not even running that shit. I'd rather go in with nothing. It doesn't even do anything for me. Like, if I had this in my kit and nothing else, I would slap it on, because there's a point to doing it, if you will. So, very, very impressive. These buffs will take their characters in a new direction. They just will. This is the kind of buff we want to see. Very strong, will actually have some impact on what the characters are doing. Very, very good. I can't wait to see the rest of the add-on changes. The reason that you haven't seen many killer perk buffs yet is because they are focusing on these add-ons. We are getting like 8 add-on passes in this patch. So, like, the killer buffs are coming, everybody. I think this chapter will be underrated in terms of killer buffs, because the survivors are getting a lot of buffs as well. But, like, how can you read any of this and be upset about it? This is incredible. This is some of the best work that this company has ever fucking produced since I've been playing the game. This legitimately makes me happy and excites me about the game's future. And it's all top 5% balancing. It's all of this is top 5% balancing. They take what's happening at the top and apply it to what's happening at the bottom. And look what you see. You see brilliant results. This is what I've been talking about for 2 years and have been shat on by this community for 2 years. This is all really impressive stuff. So why don't you examine why it's happening? Why don't you take a look at the steps we have taken to get here and see the impacts of the top 5% balancing and the impacts that MMR has had on this game already in its brief stint. This is incredible. You should be excited to play this game again. Almost. Once the patch comes in, once the bomb drops, we haven't dropped the bomb yet. Our planes are in the air and we're circling the field. There is a bomb coming. I 100% feel it. I don't know what it's going to be. I think it's probably going to be an exhaustion nerf. It might be a new early game mechanic still. Maybe they'll bring that idea back. You don't know. Maybe it'll be something, just a new mechanic that kind of affects the early game. I think the thing that's important to take away from this patch, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're closer than we think we are. We are much closer than we think we are. We are an exhaustion nerf away and an early game mechanic away to being in a very, very, very good spot. It's much closer than you think we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is exciting, and I can't wait for next month. Next patch. I'm already very excited for what the future of this game holds. I'm excited for the test. You should be very positive about this. Very good so far. Alright, I'm getting the hell out of here, lads. I'm going to go check out the patch notes now and do the video on that now. GG's.